Johor is a Malaysian state at the southern tip of the country, home to just over 3 million people. Over the last few years, with an eye on neighboring Singapore with its expensive land and labor, Abdul Ghani has pushed forward the development of Iskandar, a special economic zone 3 times the size of the island state. And despite the global slowdown, Iskandar continues to flourish.
Dato, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Alan.
What strikes me as interesting is that even though there's been a global recession, investments have dried up everywhere, you've kept on growing right through the recession. Investors keep coming in. What's the secret?
Its attractiveness as a destination of investment and as a hub of growth based on strategic location, China, India, and within the region itself. And it is also exciting because if it has been from overseas, this time we have interest that comes from within the Malaysian investors.
Now, to get a sense of the kinds of things we're talking about, many people make the mistake of thinking this is just a real estate play.
It is a major center for primary products, essentially oil palm and processing of oil palm. It is also a good mix of manufacturing. So now the new emphasis is more in the services. It involves the development of the ICT city and becoming into an educational hub. At the same time, we also make Iskandar also a destination because of putting together some 2 or 3 theme parks.
The fact that you're right across, 20, 30 minutes across from Singapore, how important has that been in getting the money in?
In a way, it is within the same economic region. Iskandar has the advantage, of course, space, 2 or 3 times the size of Singapore itself.
Oh, right.
And as a result of that, it is also very cost competitive.
And in terms of investment, there's also been a lot of attraction of funds from the Middle East, I believe, from these countries. Why is that?
There is a new emphasis in that part of the world, I would imagine, to identify some attractive destination for investment, particularly when it has been flush with funds during that time. And Malaysia appears to be quite strategic in terms of the Middle East fund, to locate their investment.
When you deal with your own citizens and you tell them about that, how do you explain to them the benefits of something which, because it's growing over time, they can't see immediately in terms of job creation?
Yeah, I see. But Malaysia and Iskandar has gone through this process of change and growth and development from one phase to another. So in a way, it has been quite not only being an open economy, but also quite an open society. So, of course, there's maybe some skepticism on the extent it could be realized, but I think they're quite used to being part of the changes.
Rapid growth.
Taking place in the country and in this part of the country in particular.
But what's your perspective on, in a competitive world, China, India, the cheaper markets of producers like Vietnam?
One is, of course, its ability to adapt to the global environment itself. I think we had enjoyed the period of growth where there is a combination between FDI and technology and product meant for the world market beyond India and China, America and Europe.
Sure.
Now we know the world economy is changing, so I think it is most appropriate when Malaysia, with the initiative taken by the Prime Minister to move into another level of development, where we think that we could move into what we call the high income economic model, which I think would fit Malaysia in the context of what is happening globally and what is happening even in China and India in the next 10 years. So in that sense, Malaysian economy has been quite adaptable to the changes within the global economy itself and within the region where you have big economies like China and India.
Last question. You've been in office, you've seen a lot, you've seen several prime ministers come and go from Dr. Mahathir onward to the current Prime Minister Najib. Governing this state and watching this growth, what is it that keeps you awake at night? What do you worry about? You sleep well?
I sleep well, but
Okay.
you know, that what keeps me awake is actually to think of what is next, you know, and exciting ideas that could be translated into implementation, and that really, I mean it, you know, it excites me and that keeps me awake.